Hi friends, welcome back. In this video, we are going to be diving into the nitty-gritty of sauna use, and particularly heat exposure to increase longevity and lifespan. So it seems like in recent years, there has been an increasing trend of influencers trying to promote sauna use as a way to increase cardiovascular health and brain health. I really wanted to see whether this is true or not, because if it is, I want to jump on that train as soon as possible. So friends, there are two types of saunas. Traditional saunas, which work by using a conventional heater to heat up the room between 70 and 100 degrees. And then there are infrared saunas, and these work by emitting thermal radiation that penetrates the cells in the body directly. And these typically range from 40 to 60 degrees Celsius. So multiple recent studies have actually described cardiovascular benefits, neurological benefits, and metabolic benefits through using sauna. Currently, the largest ongoing study is the KIHD risk factor study. And this looks at 2,300 men from Finland, and it tracks them across their lifespan. And I have to say, these study findings are pretty insane. So men who reported using the sauna 2 to 3 times a week decreased their risk of dying from a cardiovascular cause by 27%. And it appears that these results were dose dependent. So those that reported using the sauna 4 to 7 times per week were actually decreasing their risk of dying by a cardiovascular cause by 50%. That is huge. The results also came through for degenerative brain diseases such as Alzheimer's and dementia. These studies actually found that sauna use between 4 and 7 times per week decreased the risk of developing dementia and Alzheimer's by 65%. It also seems that those that use the sauna 4 to 7 times per week also saw a 77% decrease in mental health issues. That is absolutely wild. Insane. And I must not forget to mention that the risk of all-cause mortality, so the risk of dying from literally any disease, was decreased by 40% just by exposing yourself to the sauna 4 to 7 times per week. For a little more context, all the saunas in these studies were heated up to around 78.9 degrees Celsius or 174 degrees Fahrenheit. There was an average duration of 14.5 minutes. However, those that spent 19 minutes or longer in the sauna each session saw more profound effects. So I would argue that the extra 4.5 minutes is worth your time. You may be thinking by now, yeah, but Sky, how does it actually work? Well, let me tell you. So the ultimate goal of heat exposure is to raise the core body temperature. But when this happens, there are a series of transient changes that do occur immediately in the body. So the amount of blood that is being pumped by the heart starts to increase, and a large majority of the blood volume is actually directed away from your core to your extremities, and that's to facilitate sweating. But in the meantime, your body does this crazy thing where it increases the amount of blood volume that you have, and therefore increases the amount that you're excreting through your urine, which means that you're getting rid of excess toxic metals. And these are just the changes that occur immediately. Through long-term exposure, we start to see the real benefits occur. So as the body is acclimatized to heat, it optimizes our response to future exposures, and this is likely due to a biological phenomenon known as hormesis. Now, this phenomenon triggers a vast array of biological mechanisms that help to repair cell damage and prevent damage from future stresses. So heat shock proteins are essentially the golden nugget in this whole ordeal. These are essentially a form of specialized proteins that are found throughout the body. They are a major player in several of your cell processes, including cell signaling, immune function, and also regulation of your genetic expression. And it is these little guys that show up in abundance when you continue to expose your body to extreme forms of heat over time. So essentially, heat shock proteins go around and repair any of the proteins that have been misfolded or damaged. This is actually really important as it prevents protein aggregation. And this is essentially a phenomenon where misfolded proteins come together and they form these naughty little deposits. And these deposits are actually a hallmark of what we see in neurodegenerative and cardiovascular diseases. So It is these deposits that actually contribute to Alzheimer's, arteriosclerosis, all of these things that we don't want. Studies have also shown that heat shock proteins slow muscle atrophy, which essentially means muscle wastage. And it does this through the regulation of your muscle proteins. Let me not forget to mention that if you have more heat shock proteins, you're destined to actually live longer. And interestingly, current studies show that it only takes 30 minutes to ramp up the production of these, and then the levels seem to be sustained over time. So this means that people that continuously expose themselves to heat are more likely to have free-floating heat shock proteins throughout their body in higher concentrations all the time. And this actually suggests that heat acclimation actually results in a whole wide array of body adaptations that increase our future tolerance to heat. Heat exposure also activates NRF2, which is a key player in our cellular antioxidant response. Heat exposure also upregulates our interleukin 6, which is a pro-inflammatory marker. And it also results in the upregulation of interleukin 10, which is an anti-inflammatory marker. Now, the regulation of these two signaling molecules is extremely important because it plays a massive role in our immune system. And what we know is that chronic pro-inflammatory actually contributes to a vast array of diseases. So we need that balance. So now we're going to look at a few of the specific cardiovascular benefits that arise from sauna use. So these include decreasing systolic and diastolic blood pressure. So essentially just decreasing your blood pressure, which is great. It also increases the ejection fraction. So that essentially means how well your heart can pump and how much blood it can pump in one squeeze. It also increases arterial compliance, which is essentially just your artery's ability to open and recoil back to its natural state without any damage. And these are really important things because we know for a fact that all of these mechanisms contribute to decreased risk of cardiovascular diseases. Heat stress also increases brain-derived neurotropic factor, or BDNF. And this is essentially a key player in the building of new brain cells as well as brain plasticity. So brain plasticity essentially refers to the ability of the brain cells to formulate new connections between existing cells. And this is really important for neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's, where pathways often become blocked. And so if you have an alternate pathway where that signal is still able to process, you're actually decreasing your risk of the effects of Alzheimer's coming through. As we already touched on earlier, there is also the decreased risk of mental health disorders, including schizoaffective disorders and depression. And these are often attributed to that increase in interleukin 10, the anti-inflammatory molecule. There are also other benefits from heat exposure that have been touched on by other studies. This includes increasing growth hormone, upregulation of immune cell functioning, as well as increasing cardiorespiratory fitness and endurance. And these are all, again, very good benefits. So there you have it, guys. The media is not actually lying about this one. And using a sauna just 3 times a week could see you increasing your lifespan and longevity. Pretty cool. Remember though, it is dose dependent. So if you really want to reap the full benefits, make sure that you're going that 4 times a week. And the protocol is at least 14.5 minutes per session. But we really want to try and extend it to that 19-minute mark to reap the full benefits of this practice. Keep in mind as well that all of these studies have looked at traditional sauna usage, and that is heat exposure above 78 degrees. So unfortunately, I can't speak for infrared saunas, although I know that there are other studies that are in the cosmetic industry that look at the benefits of skin and things like that. So it really depends what sort of benefits you're chasing in this regard. And if you are thinking, Sky, how the heck and bob am I meant to afford a sauna? Like, it's $50 a session some places. And I'm like, I got you. What you gotta do is you find a commercial gym that includes sauna as a part of your weekly membership. So currently I pay $16.95 Australian dollars for a membership at a gym, and that includes unlimited access to a sauna and a steam room, and it's my gym as well. So it's like a 3-in-1 little combo, and it's really good as well because I can habit stack by doing my workout, and then as my little post-workout recovery, I go into the sauna for 20 minutes. And this is just a really good way to start incorporating sauna use into your daily routine if it's something that you want to do. After reading all of this research, honestly, I will be increasing my amount of sauna usage. I currently only use it maybe once a month, but I'm gonna really amp that up. And if you do love learning about research-backed daily practices that you can add into your life to increase your lifespan and your longevity, then please subscribe to my channel. I'll be putting out videos every single week and we'll be keeping up with the latest research. So bye for now.